Hi, this is the illegitimate half brother of the ancient alien guy, Georgi Tsoukalos, sitting in for the maverick artist Victor Hugo, who is in hiding at an undisclosed location after receiving death threats from the Stu Peters Network Christopher Key show producer, Zachary Winkle. For those who are joining for the first time, I will show you the emails that apparently are now going around to guests on the Stu Peters Network. Very strange how now with assassination season in full swing, producers of shows in the alt news media are sending death threats to guests. So let me show you all what I'm talking about for those who are joining for the first time. And Stephen Kelley is here with us. So, yeah, Zachary Winkle sends somebody, and then instead of respectfully or sincerely, death. And so, yeah, the artist Victor Hugo is taking no chances, and he is at an undisclosed location along with Candace Owens, who's also receiving death threats. Victor Hugo's job, not to be politically correct. It is to witness, observe, analyze, and document the beautiful chaos that surrounds us all so that future generations can understand how we got to this moment in time. And I am blessed to meet for the first time, although the maverick artist Victor Hugo has had Stephen Kelley on his show a number of times, and he's an audience favorite. Stephen, Happy New Year, sir.
Yes, Happy New Year. Greetings. Happy Orthodox Christmas also.
Yeah, that's true. In the Republic of Georgia, they celebrate two Christmas and two New Year. The New Year is January 14th, and today is the Orthodox Christian Christmas. So it's interesting here how this works. They're on a different calendar. So, what's new on your radar, Stephen? It's been a while, and 2026 has already started off with a bang with the whole Venezuela thing. I want to know more about what's going on with the Getty Museum tunnels and the bunkers, if there's been any progress with the Occupy Getty, or if this Venezuela is just another distraction to keep people from knowing about Epstein and the child trafficking and the human trafficking that's going on in the USA.
I guess you could say it's a distraction. It's more like a slap up the head. You turn that monitor down. I got to tell you, okay, like this, people talk about Epstein. They talk about, all they can talk about is pedophilia. They say Epstein files, Epstein list. They're absolutely clueless about what it is they're looking at. And I think the last time I told you, and maybe sometime shortly thereafter, I was on the show with Man in Hiding. I said that I came to the realization that Epstein isn't just some pedophile mafia guy. He's actually the boss. For the longest time, I was trying to figure out who took over for Robert Vesco when Vesco died in Cuba. Okay, now in light of Venezuela, think about that, because he's talking about Cuba. This government that we have, this sick excuse for a government, is nothing more than this Khazarian Urtel monster mafia thing, this great Satan. And it's like they've had a grudge, a hard on for Castro in Cuba ever since they arrested Robert Vesco, and the head of the international mafia that everyone keeps a big secret. And he died there. And I was trying to figure out who took over, and I thought it was Trump, but now that these files came out, we're seeing emails between Epstein and none other than Gordon Getty discussing Trump and saying how Trump is just this clown and a loser and all this is crap, but he's their clown and he's their tool and he's a bozo, but they can use him because he's violent, and anytime they want, they can throw him under the bus. So basically, Trump is just a damn puppet, and there's so much going on. I mean, like for instance, the after the invasion or the capture of Maduro, which is very questionable too. He gets a call from Nat Rothschild. Trump gets a call from Rothschild saying, "Wow, good job." And everyone's wondering, what the heck does this have to do with Rothschild? Because everyone's talking about oil. It's not just oil. It's gold. It's silver. There's more gold in Venezuela than there is in the rest of the world combined. Okay, there's there's always been silver. I mean, it's like Spanish doubloons. I mean, where do you think the silver comes from? So, 30% of the world's silver production comes from there. So yeah. But the thing is it's just this big mafia thing, and the fact that they just don't care anymore with this criminal activity shows that the gloves are off, the mask is off. We all know they can't hide the genocide, they can't hide the Satanism, they certainly can't hide the pedophilia. So what do they got left? Violence. It's nothing but violent theater. It's always been nothing but violent theater. And when the distraction isn't working properly, or you need more distraction, you crank up the violence. And that's what we're seeing now. But I just want to say one thing before we go too far about Venezuela. And first of all, I'm just sick about it. I mean, most of your average American types are just going, "Yeah, we scored, we came up, we're USA," But here's the thing: we fight dirty. We have no integrity, no ethics whatsoever. Okay, it's horrible. I mean, when they went into Venezuela, the first thing they did, of course, this was a decapitation strike. The very nature of a decapitation strike is unethical. And if you read the Constitution, you'll see that the very nature of what Trump did in there is treason. It's the laws of treason spell out that you can't go into another country, sovereign country like that, and do that sort of thing. And doing that is actually capital punishment. So Trump is completely flouting whatever so-called rule of law there is. It's absolute joke. It's like, look at the Europeans, Starmer and what have you. They have absolutely nothing to say. You know, I mean, Trump is so much worse looking than Putin right now. It's insane. But again, the point I'm trying to make is that if we weren't kicking their ass, if we weren't exposing them, if we weren't chipping away at their power and exposing them with the things like the Occupy the thing and all that, they wouldn't have to be doing this shit. They wouldn't be doing it out in the open. They figure they've got nothing to lose. Okay. And this Palantir, it's like, look at now you got Trump and Elon pals again over there in the White House after this event took place. Why is that? It's because they're all the same mafia. Trump has no power. Someone up there said, get back together with Elon here because you work for him. You can't be having this spat in public. You guys need to be working together because it's a big corporation. And Palantir and Elon and the AI and the surveillance systems and the technology that they're trying to implement requires this. And if anything, Trump is a buffoon. He's just a buffoon. He's a person to take all the heat and to take all the focus and for doing all this crap out there. And the rest of the world's talking, oh, Trump this, Trump that. What about all those damn military? What about even Nick Fuentes is going rah, rah, USA? I mean, where the hell did his integrity go? I mean, my God, it's like, it's okay to be a thief. It's like, did suddenly everybody wake up and become a tribe member? I don't get it.
Yeah, Stephen, you're right on the ball there. I've noticed in 2025, you and I were getting into the controlled opposition in the alt news media, and you're absolutely right. These people are following the script. If you hear Alex Jones right now, all he's doing is saying how amazing this is and how great it is for the United States. And what's happening is the dim-witted MAGA and Q-tards are falling for it hook, line, and sinker, and they have no idea.
They're greedy. It's greed.
Yeah, but they're not going to see any of that. These MAGA cards, they don't see any of that. That's not going to go to any of them. So What was your take on 2025 as far as the alt news media? And like you said, Nick Fuentes, even Tucker Carlson has been exposed. Alex Jones has been exposed. Um, you came on.
Simple. It's simple,
Yeah,
right? I mean, look, you're having me on. Okay. So right away, that puts you in a whole nother category. Okay. No matter what anybody thinks about you or what you're doing or what I'm doing, we're still doing it. Okay. And the way I see it, if especially now in the alt media, the so-called truth media, if you're not saying Getty, you work for the enemy. You're either absolutely retarded, paid off puppet, or you are working for the enemy. You're co-intel. Because I mean, my God, after so many years, it's like it sucks being right. But when the so-called files came out, and there's Jeffrey Epstein making deals with Gordon Getty as if he's the great godfather of the entire organization and basically asking him for permission if it's okay to have Trump installed as president. And Gordon Getty saying, I don't know, this guy's such a goofball idiot. Are you sure? And Epstein saying, yeah, we can control him. It's like, hello, Gordon Getty. It's like when they're hiding names, it's like, what do they think? They think, oh, a bunch of pedophiles, bunch of pedophiles. We're talking money. We're talking absolute control structure. And if anything, when you're talking about pedophilia, the Getty Center has been identified as industrial scale pedophilia, which means it's not just a single individual. This is not a damn movie. In a movie, Hollywood will tell you that the bad guy is some individual, and at the end of the movie, the bad guy's dead, and everyone lives happily ever after. And they want to make some bad guy. There is no single bad guy. That's a bunch of crap. There's no single pedophile. This is an industry. It's not a bunch of losers on the street that are being picked up by the cops. No, it's the people under your feet in the government and the people that are in the bunkers at the highest levels. The people that I'm talking about that are running this stuff, you never see. They're never on TV. They don't walk among us. The thing that got me from the Getty, and I'll tell you, if you've never been to the Getty, you don't even have a clue. Okay, seriously.
okay.
If you have not
I've
been
been
to the
there.
Getty, you've been there.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
been
so you
there.
know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like the most expensive building practically that's ever been made. Just the building, it's like 11 billion dollars just for the building, and the art inside that foundation, that art. First of all, what you see in there, it's Louvre class, it's world class. L'Hermitage, Louvre, it's world class. The Getty Foundation Museum has more money than every single other museum in the world by far, by billions. Okay, more money than the Louvre, more money than L'Hermitage, more money than whatever, Cairo, whatever. It's the biggest. It's the biggest and most richest, and nobody talks about it. I mean, but when they say Epstein list, what are these names? Those are the names. That's the name. That's the name. We're going to have Gavin Newsom as president here next term. Okay. Trump is history. That's why Trump is pulling out all the stops and going madman, because he knows he's screwed, and we're going to get Gavin Newsom. And unless Trump does something to completely, screw the Constitution and stay in office, which is possible, always, we're going to get Gavin. That's a done deal. Gordon Getty's 90 years old, but I suspect he will live long enough to see his son-in-law, his godson, his adopted heir, Gavin Newsom, become president. And then it'll be complete mafia takeover. And it's always it doesn't matter what happens politically, it's always a pendulum. It's going to swing far one side, and then when it swings back the other side, it's going to go even farther. And every damn swing of that pendulum, it goes farther and farther and farther. So if you think Trump is going off, if you think, hell, how far you want to go back? I mean, you think Biden was bad, just wait till Newsom gets in here. It's gonna be sick. I mean, you got Trump. The whole world knows that Trump's a pedophile. The whole world knows it. The whole world knows that he's doing this to hide the fact that he's a pedophile. But the pedophilia is a distraction from the mafia activity. Just like the Zionism is a distraction. Sure, they're all Jewish. Sure, they're all tribes of men and all that, but it's deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. It goes far beyond all the damn Solomon and David. Hell, this stuff's old, you know? So it's like what we're seeing right now, this is cosmic. This is cosmic, seriously. And I'm certain that in order for us to win this war on a cosmic level, universal level, which is what's going to happen. I mean, obviously, that's the nature of my mission. My mission is universal. It's not just one building; it's the entire damn world and beyond. And I know that in order for us to reach the breaking point, the critical mass, you know, we have to. Shit's got to get really bad, and it's going to get bad. And I'll tell you, like my page, a lot of people joining. You know who's joining? Trumpers, MAGA idiots that are wondering why they're not going after the pedophiles and why we're having these wars and why Israel. Whatever happened to Israel's for last? It's just I know I'm rambling, but man. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that this year we win. Okay, the shit's going to get really bad, but people are going to wake up, and sooner or later, mainstream's going to have to say Getty. And if we get back to people like Nick Fuente, I mean Candace, get me Candace, get me Tucker, get me any one of these idiots. I mean, Nick Fuentes, he's gone full stupid. But the bottom line is these people are young, right? These people are young. We all make hell. I promoted Trump in front of 680 million people, something like that. I promoted Trump. What a mistake. They asked me on Russia Today, they said, what's the difference between Trump and Hillary Clinton? I said, well, let's see. Trump is an arrogant billionaire and Hillary Clinton is a pedophile cannibal. And now we realize that Trump is the same damn thing. Can you imagine if I had got to say that in front of 800 million people or whatever? I mean, it would have been something. But no, that's why as soon as Trump got in office, the day he took office, I was banned from TV. They weren't going to give me a second chance to go back there and say, I was wrong. I was wrong about that bastard. He's a bad Jewish pedophile, murderer, bastard scum. And now he's going, like I said, the mask is off, the gloves are off. He knows what more can you say? He doesn't want to go down in history as a pedophile. He wants to go down in history as a pirate and a murderer. But back to this thing, I was talking about the military real quick before I forget this. When they went into Caracas, they detonated an EMP device, very, very powerful EMP device. And it knocked out all the power and all the communications in Caracas. People don't know that, but that's what allowed them to fly in there and do that and do what they did. And it was a pulse. They still have a big electronic, ridiculously strong pulse. Now, when I was involved in technology way back, during the day, I got asked to do stuff that was unethical. And very early on, I was exposed to EMP devices because I had a neighbor who would play their TV at all hours of the night. And I had a buddy at Hughes Aircraft, and he was going to make me one, and we were going to use it to turn off that TV. But the problem was that if anybody had a pacemaker anywhere near, you'd kill them. Now, how many pacemakers are in Caracas? Okay, how many people have pacemakers in Caracas? How many people in Caracas used to be alive with pacemakers? I haven't heard anything about the sudden death of everybody with a pacemaker in fucking Caracas. I'm sorry, but that's one of these little things they left out. When I was, had my laser company during the Iraq War, they wanted me to make this laser, and the intention of it was to shine it in people's eyes. It was a very strong green laser, and it was called the Dazzler. It was like a 30 milliwatt laser, which isn't that strong. I mean, obviously there's stronger stuff out there, but a visible laser at 30 milliwatts is enough to kind of mess you up. I mean, any kind of exposure, it'll mess you up. It'll burn your retina. And I'm like, that's against the Geneva Convention. What are you talking about? You can't be using this on humans. enemy or otherwise. Well, they went and found somebody that would make it, and they deployed those things over there. And they're like, the Dazzler. What a fun name. It's a dazzler. It just dazzles them. It doesn't blind them, it dazzles them. I mean, I've made nasty stuff like that. The nasty stuff is the infrared. You don't see it coming. You don't blink. They they use that at Waco. They use that, hell, they used that on what's his name? Lloyd Webber here a while back, and Andrew Basagio. They did it to those guys. When these people come up blind, that's what it was. That's a mafia thing. They, blinding people like that. So the bottom line is that we're turning into Israel, with these decapitation strikes and this lack of integrity, lack of morals. Russia doesn't fight like that. Trump is sitting there humiliating Russia and Putin and saying he's primitive and all this, and saying that their military is crap because they couldn't finish this job off in like 3 weeks or something like the U.S. would do. But the bottom line is that they don't kill civilians wholesale like Americans do. They do precise bombing. It's not like Gaza. They're not going into Kherson or Zaporozhye or wherever and flattening everything. They don't do that. They use their drones. They find out where the ukes are, and they go straight for them, and they leave everyone else alone. They're not, it's like most moral army in the world. My God, it sure as hell isn't the Israelis, and we're becoming the Israelis. So, it's like, sure, American technology and all that is good, and they did this great. I'll tell you the other thing: if it wasn't for greed, they couldn't have done this. Because what they did in Venezuela was just like what happened in Syria. When none of those damn soldiers put up a fight, they let ISIS roll in. That's because the commanders were all bought off. They dumped money on all the commanders. They did huge amounts of bribery. And damn well they did that to Maduro's forces. Whoever it was that was responsible for passing out those man pads, they got bought off. Tons and tons of money. So you know what people think, and then Trump saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost us a ton of money to set up their infrastructure and to pump that oil." They're going to make trillions, 30-something trillion dollars. It's like this most ridiculous amount of money anyone has ever stolen from another country before. I mean, this is so far surpasses what Hitler stole when he took over Belgium and France and looted their gold reserves. Oh my God. And I'll tell you something, that's another thing. When this damn thing took place in Caracas, they flew out all the country's silver. And, 6 planes loaded up all the silver. And they called it mining equipment. What is it, 870-something tons of silver, or fine silver, was flown out of the country in 40 minutes. I mean, come on. It's not about oil. That's a lot of damn silver. We got rich. We just came up. I mean, Europe. You see what happened to the Canadian oil futures after Venezuela? They tanked. They tanked.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The oil industry, the American oil industry, because of this, just took over the world, and everybody else just took a big old dump. I mean, the Canadians especially, holy crap. And yeah, they'll take over Greenland. And what is Europe going to do? Nothing. What is NATO going to do? Nothing. It's a joke. It's a joke. And France and Britain are saying they're going to send troops into Ukraine if there's ever the war ends. The war is not going to end. Not until the Nazis are gone. What can I say, man? And who are the Nazis?
The National Zionists.
Well, it's all the same thing. It's a Satanist, it's a damn Babylonian, Phoenician, Khazarian, whatever you want to call them. They're the Nazis. I mean, they created it. I mean, the Nazis were created by Simon, was his name, Weishaupt. And I mean, when they created the Illuminati, the Nazis were a succession of the Illuminati. It's all part of it. It's just like the Jesuits. People look at the Jesuits, they go, "Oh, Catholic terrorists." It's crypto-Jewish infiltration. It was never Catholic. Okay, it's like the Vatican. Hello, You don't think the Vatican was infiltrated hundreds of years ago? I mean, completely? Jeez. The royal, I mean, my God, screw the Vatican. We should be Byzantium, right? We should be celebrating Christmas today. Seriously. I mean, we should be on the Julian calendar still. But no, a bunch of rich Italian mafioso decided that the Vatican was going to be the center of the universe. So they went and created the Crusades and used it to destroy Byzantine. We're not supposed to know that. We're not supposed to know history. We're not supposed to know that this East and West battle is really still the Vatican versus Constantinople. Still. Only now, instead of Constantinople, it's Moscow, the center of the Orthodoxy. The Holy
Hey,
Empire.
so what's your opinion on what's going on with all these Canadians that are being arrested for speaking about the Holocaust hoax? I don't know if you know, but 7.
Yeah. It's a lot. Hell, the laws over there are heinous, but they're nothing compared to the ones in Britain or Germany. And they're going to get worse. We're just kind of shocked. I mean, from American standpoint, we kind of think that's sort of like America. We don't realize that it's like part of the EU or, I mean, they're actual Nazis over there. And people just don't understand. I mean, again, you've got the whole Jewish thing, and then you've got the Nazi thing. It's the same damn thing. But as far as speaking out over there, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that that's all they've got. That's all they've got. And I'll tell you, this is really a wonderful way for me to emphasize and illustrate and teach people why my mission is so much more important and why you should stop doing whatever you're doing and get on board my wagon. Because instead of doing something that they can throw you in jail for, do something that they can't even talk about. Okay, come on. They can't say Getty. Make them say Getty. If I'm going to go to jail, I'm going to go to jail about the Getty. That way, when I go to court and there's evidence finding and all that, they're going to have to listen to what I said. Unless, of course, I get a judge like Hillerstein, the one they're going to 92-year-old Jewish guy, Zionist, that they're having as the judge for Maduro. What a joke that is. I mean,
yeah, what's up with that?
Average MAGA idiots should be able to see, are starting to see this crap. I mean, my God, it's like, it's so in your face now. This whole Israel thing, it's so in your face. It's like Trump's big attack on Thomas Massie now. It is all he's bottomed it out to say now that Thomas Massie hates Israel. Well, no shit. If anything, that should be an endorsement. My God, who doesn't hate Israel? Why? What is there not to hate? How could you? What is there not to love? Oh, that's right. We took over a country using Israeli tactics. And I mean, come on, you think it was a mistake that Netanyahu shows up in Florida and the next day or whatever, he launches this damn attack? And you think it's a mistake? I mean, my God, even the Zionists will say they had two main enemies. One was Iran and the other was Venezuela. You wouldn't think so, but that's the way it was. Because it was all that money. Iran has oil, and so does Venezuela. We want it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that people don't see that. I'm really shocked at the MAGA tards and the Q tards, how they can still keep going on with this. I know you're in the United States right now. What are you noticing as far as like the controlled opposition in the alt news media? You mentioned Nick Fuentes. You mentioned Candace Owens.
Leaders, yeah, all these idiots. Wow, they're getting so powerful. These idiots are getting so powerful. I still like Candace, again, the problem is they're all about the money. And again, you can't do anything without the money. And it's like when that bitch Erica Kirk is complaining about Candace having made money. She's standing on piles of millions of dollars that she made off her husband's assassination that she was part of, obviously. and she's bitching about someone else trying to make it a little bit of money. But again, that's the problem. If as soon as you start making the money, they can throw dirt at you, and that's why, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you're living in wealth or anything grandeur, but if you look behind this green sheet, you'll see I'm living in a squanderous, damn ghetto.
Yeah, I know.
Like that.
I noticed that, and yet you and I are under attack by these trolls and by these people who have major platforms, like Stu Peters attacking me, Christopher.
Can't believe it.
I mean, it's just unbelievable how these people, they're the ones with the money, they're the ones with the audience. Meanwhile, you and I are on the fringe, but that makes
I can't
us.
even make a video anymore. None of my stuff works. It took me 20 minutes just to get this to work. I haven't been able to record any videos now for some time. And I don't think this is a mistake. I think Microsoft is very much involved. I can't load drivers. Things just, decide when they want to work or not. It's really awful. But no, your guys like
Yeah.
Stu Peters. Wow, how does
2020
he still have a platform, huh?
Yeah, a lot of these people surprised me. I liked these people. I thought they were the real deal. And then I found out that they were controlled opposition. What's interesting is the audience who are enamored with them as the cult of personality, they hate me and want me to stop exposing them because it breaks their bubble of belief in these people. What do you suppose that's all?
It's a waste. It's just another distraction. I mean, it's just like any of this stuff. That's why your email got messed up because of all those chain spams that were going out over the last thing. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta put this in the spam folder. Now I have to use the other email. But again, no matter what people are saying about it, it's like they're saying, one level of people talk about people, another group of people talk about whatever, and then the final group of people talk about ideas. We shouldn't be talking about people. We should be trying to avoid that. Again, my issue is that I can't get these people to mention my mission. I mean, it's like Stu Peters, he attacks me because I'm not attacking Jews enough. My God, if he put his effort into exposing the Getty, and if he was real, it wasn't some controlled opposition bullshit poser puppet, then he could actually do some good. Because if people like him and Nick Fuentes and take your pick, Tucker Carlson, if they would say Getty even once, the world would change overnight. And this is what the people in charge, the people in true power are terrified of. They're terrified. They know their end is near. They know it's coming, and it's only going to start. I mean, it's already started, but what's really going to drive the nail into the coffin is when one of these so-called big talking heads, PSYOP, whatever, co-op people, inadvertently says something they're not supposed to say. It's like, that's the thing. Most of them are stupid. They're so low level. I mean, look at a guy like Stu Peters. I mean, he's obviously not a very intelligent dude. I mean, come on, right? He's not a big, I'm pretty sure he's not a PhD. I don't think he has any sort of, professional skills other than, I don't know. I don't think he has any professional skills, but either way, the point is that people like that have no respect in the higher levels. Okay. And if you want to get respect from the higher levels, when I say higher levels, I mean people that don't show their face, people that the billionaires bow down to, those guys, people that are afraid of me, people that know my name by heart. You don't get respect by being that stupid. Grace, shut up. I'll throw some peanuts at her. I should have covered her up for the show. But anyway, the point is that this is why they think we're all need to die, because of losers like that. And if all these, meat sacks woke up one day and started marching in unison and chanting Getty, do you have any idea what would happen? How quickly things would change? I mean, they're in a high-speed race to try to kill everybody with nuclear bombs and biological weapons and COVID and everything else as quick as possible, before we can get enough people to basically shut them down. So it's a race. It's a race to get idiots like Stu or Candace or Nick or any of these people, that make fun of us to say Getty. And even if they say, well, that Stephen Kelley's crazy, all he talks about is Getty, they've served their purpose. Okay? Because we need 10% of the haters are always going to be out there. Okay? So, yeah, I know. I want to hear what those people have to say. But bottom line, everyone's, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I think it's every single damn thing is a little detail in a big giant choreography that we're all part of. And it's all leading to the same conclusion, and that is the Getty. Okay, so if you want to end this BS, you get on this team and you start pushing this message, even if you don't know anything. You just megaphone it. You parrot it. It don't matter, because that's gonna kill the enemy quicker than anything. And we could, or we could sit around and talk about what someone else did, like Trump. Fuck that. Trump should be talking about what we do.
Hey, so when you get down to the nitty gritty, what's really going on at the Getty, it involves the U.S. military, the CIA, the FBI, and also interdimensional beings. These billionaires, these trillionaires, actually, that you're speaking of, they're not even mankind. They're interdimensional.
That's what they want you to think. That's like a deflection. Okay, that's like the TV show saying, oh, well, that one bad guy, it's okay to hate him. That's like saying, well, all the RH negative people, you could hate them. They're all whatever. Humans are humans are humans. The only way we win this war is if all the damn humans get together and remember we're all the same damn person and work together. I mean, that's the bottom line. So when you talk about these non-human entities, yeah, ultimately, we're fighting Satan. And that includes all those other non-human entities. There's plenty of so-called extraterrestrials that are human, but they fall into the service to others category. We have two politic parties in the universe, service to others and service to self. Our enemy is service to self. That includes all the non-humanoid entities, but under the damn Getty, when you start talking about CIA and what have you, first of all, what the hell is the CIA? I mean, it's the Intertel Mafia. All right. The Intertel Mafia is the CIA. It is Mossad. It is the NSA. It is the NSO, the RO, DARPA, whatever the U.S. government, what they call the U.S. government. It's just a big damn mafia. Mafia took it all over. And every damn politician is paid off all the way down to the lowest levels. People say, well, if you want to take back government, you got to start at the lowest levels. Hell, the mafia has taken over all the lower levels. People don't even realize it. That's what all these land grabs are, like Pacific Palisades and what have you. Those are mafia land grabs. All these communities with their homeowners associations, that's mafia. Those are slush funds. All these special tax districts, that's mafia. Gavin Newsom, mafia. California, the entire state of California is mafia. Every county in California is mafia. Every city is mafia. It's all mafia. Rank and file people don't give a damn. They watch Sopranos. They think it's hip. They think it's cool. They believe the most stupid things. So, but as long as people are greedy and controlled by their greed and ego, they're going to get away with it. And you see, but the only way that that's going to stop is by force. And by force, I mean force of manifestation. And that means force of ideas. And the only idea that has the powerful enough to do this is Occupy the Getty. Believe it or not. They flat out said they can't kill me. All right. They flat out said that we win and there's nothing they can do to stop it. And they wish they knew how we do it. And we're doing it right now. This is it.
Can you explain to people what the Occupy Getty is?
Well, Occupy the Getty, real simple, is a vehicle for people that want to protest. They're pissed off. It all was because of the Mulhauer Bird Sanctuary and the Lavoie Finicum murder and the Bundy Ranch, when all those people were getting pissed off at the government, what have you, and their, Second Amendment and standing up and all that. I said, geez, if all those people would stand up and say Getty something and put the spotlight on it instead of Bundy Ranch or whatever, some stupid thing, Venezuela, whatever, then the world would change. So that's why I created this thing. And it's mostly, sure, it says, oh, yeah, we get 1 million people to go basically surround the facility and tell them that it's ours now. You got to stop. Things will change like V for Vendetta. But the bottom line is that this is not a single building. You got to realize that these bunkers that go underground, there's no border. The bunker under the Getty is one big bunker. The bunker under Buckingham Palace, it's the same bunker. It's like rooms in the house. They're all connected. You go down there, there's no borders. It's one big world government. And the Getty is the throne. So if you look at how the world government is run, it's based on a corporate system, and the CEO is the crown. And people think, oh, it's the Vatican. No, the Vatican are just on the board of directors of the corporation. There's many people, entities on the board of directors of this corporation. The Rothschilds, the Templars, the Rosicrucians. Yeah, they're still there. They're still out there. Have you ever met any Rosicrucians?
No. Have you?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're Templar, or they're NSA. NSA dudes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they call them Rosies. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So bottom line is that if you want to end all this crap in the world, you seize the power. And you don't do that by marching on the Vatican or the White House or some BS location. You go to the crown where the CEO sits on the throne, and you take the throne and become the CEO. That's what Occupy the Getty is. They offered me this thing. Okay, seriously, these Getty people, they basically said, they offered it to me, this position. And, but the contingent the caveat was that everybody else had to die. Okay, I had to be okay with that. I had to be okay. In order to get that position, you have to be okay with their killing everybody. And I thought that wasn't fair. So I said, screw that. And I turned against them. They were recruiting me. They were looking for me. They spent a long time looking for me. And when I say long time, I mean, 1,000 years type of thing, long time. But anyway, they did. They thought it was my twin brother. They threw a bunch of money at him. They kissed his ass. They told him all kinds of crazy things. And then they met me. And then they go, holy crap, you're the one. Anyway, but so I turned on them, and I've been looking for ways to defeat them. And originally, my plan was to create an army of psychics, which I've done. I've created an army of psychics. We call them Jedi, but that only does so much. I mean, you can change things in the astral, but to make big changes on the surface, you need a lot of people on the surface. And this is important because this is how we manifest. In other words, if I can get everybody, and there's 8 billion people in the world, but if I could get a good portion of those people, even having the word Getty in their brain, I'll win. Okay, it's 100 monkeys. Sooner or later, everyone's going to get it. And it's already started. The fire that we've started with this whole Occupy the Getty mission is gone. I mean, hell, I could go random places now and run into people that have at the very least heard about Occupy the Getty. Okay, so it's getting there. And people go, well, what is it? What is it? What is it? What are you going to do that? Why haven't you marched on this place? Why haven't you taken over? Why haven't you arrested those kids? There's a lot of retarded people in the world. I'm using that word a lot, but they are the controlled opposition, and they are the audience for people like Stu and what Alex. I mean, come on, they're MAGA. They are retarded. I mean, you thought liberals were retarded. Sure, they're retarded, but my God. People that can't see that Trump is a pedophile, that's some pretty damn thick retardation there. Hardcore. You can't see the guy's a mafioso. But if you think it's okay, you're either retarded or you're corrupt. You have no morals, and you're going to go to hell. That's just the way it is.
Hey, Stephen, when you were on Revolution Radio, there was a infamous broadcast where we were censored in real time because you exposed Revolution Radio's involvement with child pornography. And have you heard of Dave Gahari and FTJ Media, which is Fuck the Jews Media?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, okay. Then there's no point in asking you that. That's a question in the chat section.
People want to know what I think about other people and other things. The quick answer is, as I pretty much try to ignore everything that doesn't reflect my mission. Okay, I don't parrot other people's ideas, and as we've been discussing here, extensively the last 20 minutes or so, it's worthless to be talking about people and bitching about people when the solution is right in front of you. So anything that we can do to forward the solution, if I have to expose people and harass people and destroy people to further the mission, so be it. But it's got to do that. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
So the thing is, though, people are saying that the Getty Museum is very well guarded. So how the heck would people be able to infiltrate that?
Well, you don't have to infiltrate it. I mean, again, I'm pretty sure that the people that are working there, a lot of them have figured out what's going on. In other words, it's like, unless you're living under a rock, it's pretty hard to ignore what's being said about Gordon Getty and the Getty Center. And so people in Los Angeles that are going to work there, they've got to they're not ignorant. So what that basically means is that their line, the fence that so many people try to sit on, it's getting very slippery, and you gotta pick your side. You gotta choose your side, and this is really what's going on right now. Is there's a separation of the chaff, so to speak. So when you talk about guarding, obviously we can't go in there. A human body cannot go in there. I mean, think of a video game trying to go. How many traps are you going to go through before you get killed? The elevator. You think the elevator you're gonna be able to control that elevator? I mean, even in the astral, going down there in the astral is not easy. I mean, you don't think, hell, people are so limited. They think that everything revolves around this three-dimensional stuff. Okay, they don't realize that there's all these other levels of reality, and they're just as real as this one. Okay, and so in other words, if you're on, let's say you're in the fourth density, and you want to go through a door. It has a lock. It has a lock that works in that reality, just as it works in the other reality. And a lot of what we perceive as reality is side by side with these alternate realities, pretty much for the most part. So when they build, it's like the pyramids. You think the pyramids were built for three-dimensional this reality? No, it's operating in a whole nother reality. It doesn't even look like that in the 4D. My God, it's very active. It's just like under the Getty. So, I've had psychics go down there. I mean, many, many psychics have gone down there. They pretty much all report the same thing. But some people have gone down there and they come back and said it's a ghost town. Well, of course it's a ghost town. Everything's a ghost town. It's like Silent Hill. You want me to explain what it's like? It's like Silent Hill. You know Silent Hill? The movie Silent Hill.
That was a movie. Can you explain it for the people?
Because Silent Hill is sort of like it's a science fiction. It started out as a video game, but basically, the character dies. They go into an alternate reality. It's kind of like hell. It's a different density, but it's like the same reality. Only it's not very nice. It's really bad, and that's what it's like. Okay, and so the point is like, yeah, humans going in there. The Getty was built as a fortress. The surface that they used, the materials that they used, it's made to defend against an assault. If you look at the place and walk around, you'll see there's gun positions. There's all sorts of defilades. It's sloping surfaces. It's a fortress. We call it a Templar fortress. That's what it is. It's a Templar fortress. It's made to look like Kingdom of Solomon Templar fortress. But the thing is that they have a staff of NSA personnel. Many of the people that work there are retired NSA. They have an armory on the premises, a huge armory filled with machine guns and everything. They have a turret, at least two turrets that I've identified, one for sure that I know of, that houses a dew weapon. I mean, there's a garden. They call it the cactus garden. It looks like a kind of a pulpit that goes sort of sticks out over the hillside, overlooking all of Los Angeles. And you look at that and you think, what the heck is that? They built this monstrosity just to house some cacti? No, there's a damn gun underneath that thing. It's going to pop up and blast away at anything that attacks it. So yeah, there's when we talk about extraterrestrials, I mean, my God, the technology down there, they're using beam ship technology just to run the elevator. I mean, beam ship technology. What is that? It's ion drive. Okay. The elevator works the same way as a B-2 bomber. It puts out positive ions on the top and negative ions on the bottom. And the negative ions push and the positive ions pull. And that's how they achieve the so-called anti-gravity. It's not anti-gravity, it's ion propulsion. And that's how they make the elevator go up and down. Well, the elevator isn't just an elevator, it's a UFO. I mean, hell, it's also an escape vehicle. There's a one place that we identified, and it's the escape shaft. Should we ever decide, okay, the whole plan was to nuke it. Okay, they've got a big ass nuke on the surface of this thing in the elevator, or not in the elevator, but in the museum. And the idea is that if we ever were to rise up, I mean, they've been planning this for hundreds of years, but if we ever rise up, as they say, should the Goyim ever rise up, pitchfork in hand, when they find out what we have been doing, we have a marvelous plan, a maneuver so great, so heinous that the stoutest hearts quail. And that plan is the undergrounds, the metropolitans, the Getty. And from these undergrounds and metropolitans, they will blow up the surface with all of our archives and treasure. So that's right in the protocols. They've been saying that for over 100 years. That's what the Getty is. So one of the things that we do in the astral, aside from trying to free the souls of the children that are trapped down there, because they don't just kidnap children, they kidnap their souls. I mean, that's what they've been doing that since Solomon. Solomon used to do that shit. That's how he got all his power. Anyway, we look for that nuke, and we finally found the nuke, and it was shaped like a piece of art. It was like a big black statue-looking thing, and that was the nuke. But the way they were keeping it hidden was they had these. This is going to sound crazy, but this is the way it had is. They have portals. Okay, the Getty has portals. There's like 7 portals that we found. There's one portal at the very, very bottom, and that's probably where your reptiles and Draco bastards come and hang out so that they could do their bloody whatever it is that they do down there, because that's where the really bloody stuff goes on, down at the bottom. But at the very top level, not too far from the top, there's a escape area. And this is like where the people are that are going to be the last ones to leave command. Okay, so in other words, if everybody vacates the premises prior to a nuke, the guys that set off the nuke, they run the dew weapon, but if they decide to flee to set the nuke off, they go into an elevator, and the elevator is in a big old shaft, and it's right under the dew weapon, and it drops down a mile. It goes straight down a mile, and it goes underwater, because if you go down a mile, you're underwater, you're below sea level. And from there, they go out a big tunnel out into the ocean where they can take off because it's a flying saucer. It's going up and down like an elevator, but it's also capable of interstellar flight. But hell, the
Are
Getty's
you
where the
talking?
secrets. What?
Are you talking about the elevators that the public uses? Because I remember going to the Getty
No,
and
no, no. I'm not talking about the public elevator. I'm talking about the one that the cavers use. I'm talking about the one that goes down to the bunker. That
oh,
thing.
okay.
That doesn't have cables and stuff like a regular elevator.
Where do you get that one? Like on the ground level, or how do people get?
You access that elevator down in the basement. There's the basement has 6 levels. There's 6 levels of basement, which are huge. I mean, the basement, when you go down, the floors of the basement are much, much larger than the museum on the surface. And as you go down further, they get bigger. Okay, they're very big. And the further down, they get really big. But and there's lots and lots of concrete. And the roof over that basement is the single largest concrete pour in the history of the world. That's just one of those little facts. More than Hoover Dam, more than whatever. I mean, they had cement trucks just lined up for days pouring cement for this foundation. But the foundation is the roof of the basement. And that's not even a bunker. That's just the basement. So yes, the basement in itself is a bunker, a 6-story deep bunker. And people don't realize this, but the hill, it's all built into a hill. It's Santa Monica Mountain is what it is. It's built in this mountain. When you go into the parking structure at the bottom of the mountain, way below the museum, remember the museum has a basement 6 stories deep, but you're well below that. You go into the parking structure. The parking structure is 7 levels deep underground, and that's at freeway level. Okay, so you got to comprehend just how big this damn thing is. And then right across the street, you've got UCLA, the college, University of California, Los Angeles. It also has a 6-level basement that takes up the entire footprint of the college campus. Okay, so in other words, if you look at the college campus, it's got a bunch of buildings scattered around. That is the college. But below it, it's one big basement that goes down 6 stories. And it is connected to the Getty, as is everything else. It's all one big bunker. The federal building where the FBI operates, the guys that I called up to complain about to the Getty to, are also connected. It's right there. The largest Jewish cultural center in the United States is the Skirball Center. It's 1.3 miles away from the Getty. It is connected with a tunnel. I have located nests of Satanists all over, not just in the Hollywood area or Brentwood, but in places like Encino. We located a den of Satanists in Encino called the Lizard Club, and it's at the home of Rick Messina, who's a Hollywood talent agency, and it has a tunnel. He owns 2 houses connected on a hilltop and with overlooking a water reservoir. They like to build these things over water reservoirs, okay? Because their satanic stuff goes down into the water. Water holds the chi. Water is a chi superconductor. Bad chi that they create from their satanic rituals goes downhill into the water supply out to the rest of the country. Every satanic place I found has been over a reservoir. Satan's castle is over a reservoir. That's over in the hills over there, just above Riverside. And the reservoir below it is called, what's it called? Devil's Canyon. Okay?
Did you say there's a place called Satan's Castle?
Yeah, there's a place called Satan's Castle. Yeah.
What?
It was burned to the ground, but it's still there.
What is that?
All right. Well, you heard of McMartin Preschool?
No.
All right. McMartin Preschool was a case that happened where they had a preschool where children were reporting being taken for satanic rituals. Ted Gunderson was the head of the LA office of the FBI. He was investigating it. He uncovered the whole thing. They were taking these children to a location in the mountains, good 50 something miles away or further. And it was the city of Crestline. And it was a home dubbed Satan's Castle. And this is where they conducted the satanic rituals. Anyway, when the story came out about McMartin Preschool, the Satan's Castle was burned to the ground. And it was burned to the ground by the local Catholic Church, which is across the street, which also has a tunnel to it. And I'll tell you, I went out there and took pictures of the location. And right next door, I mean, the whole city is satanic. Everybody's in on it. They're all in on it. But if you go to the house next door to where the Satan's Castle used to be, it looks like a regular house. I mean, these are like cabins, it's up on the hills, like Big Bear or whatever. It's like a camping. It has huge electrical conduit power supplying going into that facility. In other words, there's like a little garage behind this house, and it looks like it's got power to run a small city running into it. You wonder, why in the hell has this house got this ridiculous amount of power going into it? I mean, come on. You don't think the locals know about it? Of course they know about it. They all know about it. The police know about it. The FBI knows about it. Everybody knows about it. They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt. The police departments, they're a big mafia. I worked with law enforcement. I sold guns. I sold material, lasers to law enforcement. I know many, many cops. I had cops in the family. My father-in-law was a cop, and he was an investigator for the district attorney. And I found out from him that it was all one big mafia. I did private and detective work, and that's how I found out, because when I did the private detective work, I found out that everybody was connected. The doctors, the judges, the lawyers, the investigators, the police. It's a big, giant mafia. It's all mafia.
Wow. So I don't know how we're going to get out of this mess, because it seems like
Occupy the Getty. That's how we get out of this mess. It's simple.
I know. Thing is, people are too stupid.
You're right. Everyone's retarded. But if we get the stupid people to just say Occupy the Getty, even if they go, "Yeah, what's this Occupy the Getty? What's this stupid Stephen Kelley guy? He says Occupy the Getty." If they say that to their friends and those friends repeat it, we've won the battle. Okay? We won the battle. Because it's not what the retards think, it's what the enemy thinks. The enemy are scared to death. They're already scared to death. I want the enemy has two choices. Push the button and kill everybody, or give up. And if they give up, they're only going to do it if they are promised not to be treated the way they deserved, with their heads cut off and stuff like that, torture. And all the retards, they want to cut their heads off. So yeah, not only do we have to convince the retards to do the right thing, we also have to convince them to not be a bunch of savages when we win this thing, because we're never going to win it. If we have to go toe-to-toe with them and kill a bunch of humans to get at the demons, then the demons are going to be happy, because they want the humans to die anyway. So the trick is to get the humans to give up. And when the humans realize that the demons that they follow are weaker than us, when they realize that we're stronger than those demons, they're going to realize, well, gee, let's get behind these dudes, because that's our only hope. The enemy needs to know that this is their only hope. And they need to know. I mean, they've already offered me the keys to the kingdom if I would allow them to kill everybody. And I said, bullshit, that's not going to happen. So I want those keys to the kingdom, only that's going to be on my terms. And my terms is they don't get to decide who dies. And there's going to be no more pedophilia and no more satanic shit. That's all going to come to an end. And we're going to go from a greedy, selfish society to a society that measures wealth in service to others. That's everything. That's everything. That's what Occupy the Getty is.
Wow, from your mouth to God's ears, but I just don't see these pedophiles and these psychopaths honoring their word, because if you say, okay, well, just stop it and we won't cut off your head, they'll be like, okay.
Confinement. They're going to go. All right, let me put it this way. Gordon Getty, I've already said this in public. Gordon Getty, your cell, you could have a piano and you could have some paintings, but you're never going to be able to touch another human for the rest of your life. But you can have a piano and you can have some paintings, and we won't kill you and we won't torture you and we'll feed you. That's what you get. You get to live, but you don't get to procreate. You don't get to do any of the things you used to do, and you're going to be in complete isolation. But we're going to treat you like human family that we love. This is what it's all about. All these monsters need to know that we will let them back into the human family on the condition that they cooperate. If they don't cooperate, they get slayed. That's how this works. That's the mission.
The problem with that, though, is that there's so much corruption that you're going to be able to have people who are working in that prison system that are going to give these guys.
Not going to be a prison system.
I mean, like you're saying to keep these people, they're going to be kept in confinement. Whoever's working in that confinement
is going to make a great prison.
There's too many people.
Those bunkers will make wonderful prisons.
The thing is, though, there's so many people that are caught up in this mafia, from the police to the military to the people in
You know what? That's the thing. I don't care about all these 8 billion humans. You know, to me, they're all a bunch of they're all dead meat. Okay, all the world is dead meat. At 7, 8, however many billions of people, they're all dead meat. There's only one thing standing between them not being dead meat and being dead meat, and that is this mission. So I don't care. You know, when you say, oh, but the retards. Well, you know, here's the thing. All that dead meat, there's going to be a lot of it laying. I've seen the future. You want to know what the future looks like? Dead meat in the streets, filled with it. You know, these people's homes, you know how these greedy people, they get their little homes and they pile their homes full of their stuff that they've, you know what's going to happen to all that stuff? It's going to be in the street. It's be in the street. So your homes, all your stuff in your homes is going to be in the street along with your corpse. That's what the future looks like. So retardation, I don't care about, because here's the thing. They can't kill me. They can't kill me. That's why I can do anything. If you can't kill me, if you found out tomorrow that no matter what you did, they couldn't kill you, what would you do? Take over the world? That's what this mission is. I'm ending Satan. If the reason why they can't kill me is because of destiny. Destiny is that this mission is completed, and it's all math. You see, it's all probability and math. It's math. That's all it is. So in other words, once something reaches better than 90% probability, it's written in stone. And all this work that we've been doing, all these, you know, thousands of cuts and what have you that we've been making on the enemy, they add up. And it's like a poker game of probability. When enough things happen, the probability reaches a point to where there's nothing that can stop it. It becomes written in stone. And this is what we're doing. And this is what manifestation is. So by not having that stupid doubt, oh, how are we going to do it with all the retards? We don't care about the retards, because even the damn people that wrote the protocols know it only takes one highly motivated individual to sway millions. Okay? Millions. They're afraid of those highly motivated individuals. Why do you think they killed Charlie Kirk? Oh my God, he was one of those highly motivated individuals that could sway millions. You don't think I could do that? I could do that. I'm doing it right now. They're putting everything they've got into keeping me silent, keeping my message away. And yet it's all over the world. And they can't do anything about it.
Let me ask you something. Do you really believe that Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Did you see all the footage and everything?
Of course he was assassinated. Have you ever seen anybody shot before?
Yeah, and
somebody shot.
There would be blood, and the thing is, did you see the footage of
blood? All right, look, all the bullshit aside. Again, remember how we were talking about all the bullshit? That's a perfect example of bullshit. It's irrelevant. All the bullshit's irrelevant. The bottom line is he's dead. He's gone. The bottom line is Erica Kirk is now running his organization, and they went from anti-Israel to pro-Israel overnight. That's the bottom line. Everything else is conjecture and bullshit. It's like, I'm Stu Peters, blah, blah, blah. Come on, we don't need that. I am so busy trying to save the world from all the retards in spite of their retardation. I don't have time to think about this shit. I regret that Charlie Kirk didn't live long enough to learn about the Getty. I regret that. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you look at the footage, those first of all, there wasn't an ambulance there, which is very bizarre because at every other event there's just so many anomalies. The biggest one also was when he was taken to the black SUV by those goons. There was no blood coming out. There was no blood on the floor. There was no blood on their clothing, and
Yeah.
I believe witness protection in Valhalla. I think that whole thing was staged. And did you know that the judge put a gag order
Point.
on 3,000 people?
What's the point? What would the point be? What's the motive? I mean, humans love motives. So what is it?
Like you said, to have Erica Kirk come in and take over.
And you think that Charlie would be good with that? You think he's good with that? All right, let me turn that around for you since you wanna go that route. Let's look at Maduro. Okay? Let's look at Maduro. What's the difference between him and Saddam Hussein? Absolutely nothing. We put Saddam in there. Maduro was a plant just as much as anybody was. Sure, he said good things about Palestinians and all that and everything else, but do you really think that one of the richest countries in South America would be set up with a Marxist to run into the ground so that we would have an excuse to take it over? Come on, we set that up. Everything that we do hundreds of years in advance. Okay, they knew that. So in other words, and now all of a sudden Maduro's turning state's witness against Biden. He knew what was going on. Okay, it's like, I mean, even if they get killed afterwards, it doesn't matter because they throw their own under the bus. Okay, Emmanuel Noriega, take your pick, Grenada, I mean, hell, on and on and on and on. Barry Seal, they throw their own under the bus.
Yeah, they totally do. And I think they threw Charlie Kirk under the bus, but they gave him the opportunity to live out his life in Valhalla. You know what Valhalla is?
I don't think so. I think that's worthless to even think about. Even if that was true, so what? So what? Do you really think so? No, I don't think there's enough money that you could have given Charlie Kirk to live out his life in hiding. He's not Jeffrey Epstein. He's not a criminal. He's just some kid. They were going to make him president. He was going to be president. They're going to make him vice president behind J.D. Vance. That was the plan. And then he was going to have Don Jr. as his vice president. That was the plan. But he went against it. He came up with his Israel shit. They had to kill him. What you don't understand is, and even if you want to say it's fake and spectacle, the fact is it was loose generation. It was made to fuck with people's heads. And when I saw that, and yes, it fucked me up for a good couple of weeks. It did that. It was designed to cause all sorts of negative human emotional psychic energy. That's really what it was all about. But even if it was true, it's just not. I mean, come on. Their ship is sinking. They don't do crap like this if it wasn't. I mean, it's just like. As far as like, if you take this whole MAGA movement, the gripers and what have you, you can't lump people like Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson and Stu Peters in the same boat. Some of them are actual journalists, and some of them are just wannabe kids in front of a microphone. And some of them are COINTEL. I mean, it's ridiculous to even think of. And even Tucker Carlson, you look at him, if he sounds like he's a good Christian or if he's saying the right thing, why is he wearing a damn satanic red thread on his wrist? Why is Putin wearing a red thread on his wrist? It's all COINTEL. And you know how you tell if it's not COINTEL? They say Getty. Real simple. I'm giving the whole world a real simple yardstick to use to measure every single one of these bastards. Okay? And you, guess what? You passed the yardstick because you got me on your show. And the only people that pass it are the ones that have me talking to me. And it's real easy to tell who the enemy is because they're the ones attacking. Your Kerry Cassidy's, your Stu Peters, your whoever. But if they're too afraid to say Getty, I mean, that means they're smart. You think Gordon Getty would ever say my name? Oh, hell no. He's got he's got billions and billions of dollars. He has armies of attorneys that do nothing but sue people all day, and yet he won't touch me. But he'll get the FBI to call me up and say, hey, could you please not protest on the Getty property? You know, I'm banned from the Getty. I can't go there anymore. They won't even let me on the property.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Bastards. They should be kissing my ass.
So you were talking about them taking souls, and that's something that is really happening right now, and people aren't really understanding how they are taking our souls, and they've been doing it for a very long time. You were talking about the Phoenicians as well. Can you describe what's going on right now with the taking of the souls? Because I understand that they're trying to put people into the Internet of Things, and they're trying to put people's souls into this.
Well, there's a kind of couple different aspects to this. What I think you're referring to is a manipulation of the DNA, because technically that DNA is also everybody has a sine wave, okay, that represents their particle. So if you were to take all of the mass and energy are the same thing, and the big trick, and like with quantum computing and what have you, is converting a particle into a wave and back again. That's what qubits and all that stuff is all about. Is being able to turn particles into waves and back. A big trick. We've been able to do it for a while, turning particles into waves with, like, say, nuclear bombs, but we've never been able to put that nuclear bomb back together. Okay, that's what quantum computing is. So when you are able to do that, which these advanced entities are able to do, they can essentially hijack your soul using whatever technology they use. I don't pretend to understand how it works, but they can do several things. They can use it to create a clone. They can use it to basically bring you back to life. In other words, let's say, people think there's no fate worse than death. Oh, actually there is. There is, actually. They can torture you to death and bring you back and keep that process going for eternity. They do that.
Yeah.
As far as like the soul capturing, Solomon used to do this. People, if you read your Bible and you study the Hebrew text and stuff, you learn about King Solomon. I mean, even the Jews have to admit this. They can't hide it. It's known. Is that his power was derived from demons, and he would capture these demons, essentially their souls. He would bind their souls to whatever, and he would force them to do things for him. Manipulate reality this way. And in fact, this is so old. One of the first things that we did, in fact, this is one of my first real exposures to this whole super soldier thing, was before the war started and the invasion of Iraq started. Super soldier, I don't know what you want to call them, men who stare at goats types. I don't know what you call that. Psychics, military psychics, went in. Astral projection. Yeah, the military went in there and actually took over facilities in what was at one time ancient Babylon underground, and took possession of entities that Saddam had there that he was using to maintain power. And again, this is crazy because he worked for us, but that came here. We took those, and I suspect that these things that were taken from Saddam were probably originally stolen from Israel when the Babylonians, the Babylonians conquered, Judah and Israel. They conquered the north. Okay, so they must have been in the north. But see, it's kind of weird because Solomon's kingdom was kind of in the I get it mixed up. The north. Okay, Solomon's kingdom was in the north, and the southern kingdom. Okay, when they split, that was the more of the true kingdom. The northern kingdom, which was closer to Phoenicia or Lebanon, had 10 of the 12 tribes, and those were the ones that did the most baby killing. Now, that's not to say that the two tribes that were left in the south didn't kill babies, but the tribes in the south were the ones that were captured by the Babylonians, and the tribes in the north were the ones that were captured by the Assyrians. But most of the tribes in the north went north. They went very north after they were released, and those are the Khazars. Those are mostly the Khazars. Those are the guys that are in Kiev and what have you. So yeah, there's a connection to Solomon there, but it's really tenuous.
Hey, by the way, how was he able to control the demons and the people that are Satanists now? Do they control demons?
Well, obviously, they do because they took the ones that Solomon had. I mean, they've got. I'm sure there's stuff down there. Who really knows? But here's the thing to consider also is that when we talk about demons, typically you're talking about Lilith. Bird, cut it out. And she's the mother of all these things. So when we talk about Lucifer and Satan, we're really talking about Lilith. But as far as the Jedi are concerned, us and our astral endeavors, when we are pursuing what you would call demons, what we're really pursuing are Draco or Anunnaki or Gray. Okay, any one of those. And those, of course, there's several different variations of those three different species, but those are the bad guys. So if you've got captured entities, they could be Anunnaki, they could be Draco, they could be Gray. I suspect they're probably Anunnaki, or they're captured Draco. There's Anunnaki captured Draco. Draco captured Anunnaki. Draco pretty much controlled the Gray, but sure, there's been all sorts of fighting between those different entities and various different treaties. And these treaties have been going on between those three for millions of years. And this is the system on the earth that we have today, is the remnants of this treaty that these bastards have been breaking. And this is why we're going to genocide them, because they broke this damn treaty and it's time for it to go away. It's time for them to go away. It's time for the earth to return to the way it was 25 million years ago before these three bastards took everything over. Those are your demons. Okay, so when you ask me how do you capture a demon, how do you capture a Draco? How do you capture an Anunnaki? How do you capture a Gray? You know how you kill a Gray? You break its neck. you break its neck. They're very fragile.
Really?
You break their neck, yeah. You can do it.
So do you think 2026 is going to be the reveal? I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that Steven Spielberg movie.
Fuck Steven Spielberg. You're talking about wizards and warlocks. There's a fucking wizard. There's a wannabe fucking wizard. You know what wizards do? They manipulate your brain with bullshit, and they make you manifest reality by telling you shit to have in your head. So that's why they make movies, so that you will have this crap in your head, so that in hopes it will be reality. It's creating chaos. That's why Maria Abramovich called Trump the greatest magician ever, because he's creating chaos. Steven Spielberg is a Satanist of the highest order. A Getty goes under the Getty all the time, and they respect him because he has skills. He has satanic given skills. He is a fucking wizard. But you know what? I am way stronger than that motherfucker. He's more scared of me.
So have you seen the preview for his
No, I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. No. I don't pay attention to popular culture. I want to... Okay, listen, popular culture pays attention to me. The most number one thing on Netflix is Stranger Things. You know where that came from? Me. They ripped it off from me. The bastard that stars in that show ripped it off from me and took it to Netflix, and they made billions of dollars with it. Screw those guys. There is nothing new under the sun. They're not that creative. They have to mimic stuff that's actually going on, But the bottom line is they want to present everything in such a way to mold your thinking into thinking that they have the power and there's nothing you can do about it. And then that's what you need to focus on. What you need to be focusing on is the fucking Occupy the Getty and ignore all these bastards and make them talk about us. Because as long as everybody is talking about shit coming from them, we're fucked. Okay? I want them talking about shit coming from my mouth, not from fucking Steven Spielberg wizard or Donald Trump or some other bullshit artist who has the power of the entire media at their disposal. Fuck Stu Peters. Fuck all these people. If they don't say Getty, fuck them. If they can't understand that this mission is the only thing on earth that ends this forever, they're fucked and they're just in my way.
Have you made it onto the Dustin Nemos pedophile media Mossad list?
What do you think? I don't know. What does that even mean, man? I mean,
I don't know.
What does that mean?
This
Have
guy's
they
having.
said me? Look, I don't care about what they. I want them to say Getty. That's all I care about. You know, if they want to say bad things, I'm not gonna go out of my way to chase these fuckers because look, here's the thing. I made enough noise for long enough. I put enough shit out there on the internet that if you are not cognizant and aware of what I've said, you're either retarded or you're ignoring me or you're part of the problem. You are the enemy. So there's no excuse anymore. Alex Jones, he knows who I am. Stu Peters, he knows who I am. And yet he'd rather make up bullshit than get on my bandwagon because you know what? He's all about ego and money. And you know what? They see me and they think, oh, he's got an ego. He thinks he's all this and all that. You know what? It sucks to be the only one that knows how to fucking free the entire fucking world. Everyone else is wasting fucking time. You're a bunch of fucking retards. And until you all fucking get behind my mission, we're all fucked. But that's okay because that's what they want. They want you dead. But you know who doesn't die? Me.
Holy cow, Steven, I'll tell you what, man. That's a lot of pressure that you're under. I mean,
Yeah, no shit. You know what? Yeah, hey, I've been wearing the world on my shoulders since the 90s. Okay? You imagine what that's like. It's like an island. You're an island. You know what? When the Getty came to me and said, hey, we want you to save the earth from alien invasion and make us something that'll help us do that. You talk about pressure? That was during the Clinton administration. You know? And that's when I realized technology was bullshit. It's all about psychic stuff.
yeah, it is because the soul is connected to the consciousness. We're all conscious beings. That being said, how do you chill out, man? How do you relax?
Weed.
Nice.
Weed. That's about it. I can't. It's very hard to relax. I have cats. No, I can't relax, man. It's like I'm sick to death every day. This is my entire life. That's the reason why I win is because they can't make me stop. They could have offered me $1 billion. I don't know why they didn't. Just offer me $1 billion and have me chase some wild goose chase. But no, they'd rather be. You know why? Because they say they don't negotiate with terrorists. They think I'm a terrorist. They say, no, we're not negotiating with you. Fine. You don't want to negotiate with me? Fine. The mob will cut your head off. And it's going to happen. And I'm going to point the mob right at you. You're scared?
Hey, somebody in the chat wants to know, what do you think of Alex Collier, Andromeda Contact?
Fuck all these people. Fuck all these people. What did they think about me? That's what I want to know. Fuck them. They're nobody. They're fucking nobody. They're all fucking nobody. Talking heads making a business, a life, spewing bullshit. Until they're spewing my message, they're worthless. That's all I can say. Fuck.
Do you have a show now on any platforms or no?
I have Truth Cat Radio, which is highly censored, www.truthcatradio.com every Thursday night. But it's like I said, they don't want me making videos. I've got platforms on Twitter with, 60, 80,000 people. But you think I could post anything on there? Hell no.
Yeah, I'm banned from Twitter and X and LinkedIn and YouTube and all that stuff. It's just that means we're over the target.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
but is Stu Peters banned? No. And yet he could say Nazi shit all day and they won't ban him. Go figure.
Yeah, I was really surprised, man. Why do you suppose he had somebody on his network send me that "you will die" email? That came out of nowhere. Have you
I don't
ever?
know. They want to stress you out or something, give you bad karma. I don't know. Hell, I've been waiting for somebody to kill me now for so damn long. I'm so over it. I live in a ghetto. I stand on the street and I wonder about every car driving by. Come on. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm
Hey,
over it, man. I'm over it.
Stephen, somebody in the chat says you have extraterrestrial assistants. Are you able to request from them a plan for the Getty?
I They get it from me. I am the plan. The- Yeah, I have assistants. We have Pleiadians. We have an army. We have an army that operates in the astral, and there's all sorts of entities in the astral that join us. Pleiadians have joined us. There's also Here's another thing that people need to understand. You have ancestors. Everybody has ancestors. Lots of them, thousands of ancestors. Most of us have thousands of ancestors. Every single one of them is watching you. Every single one of them is watching you. They all want to help, but they won't do anything unless you ask. Angels won't do anything unless you ask. They're there all the time. It's simple. You want to learn how to communicate? Get rid of your TV. Get rid of your radio. Stop listening to bullshit. Stop listening to stupid people. Get that crap out of your head. Find calm. Find quiet. And then you'll hear answers. You have a question? You want an answer? It'll be there instantaneously. And when that answer comes, don't go, "Oh, I just made that up myself." No kidding. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's what being psychic is. It's called gut. People go, "Oh, what's your gut feeling?" That's being psychic. It's real simple. So I don't know. People, they like, I win. Okay, I win. I know that. We win. This battle's over. Hell, if I wasn't going to win, there would be no crypto. They made crypto to hide the money from our victory. It's not going to work. How do I know that? Because I've infiltrated them. I have agents inside of all of these organizations. I have these people that created the crypto. I had people driving them around. Okay? Seriously. I'm real. I have people, and you know what? We don't communicate. They're all free. They go out and do their thing. They're all like, well, gorillas, if you will. But yeah, one of my guys was actually a driver for like these two brothers that were like responsible for creating crypto. And they were Satanists, of course. And he finally got tired of it and decided to reveal himself who he was. And they freaked out. He told them that he worked for me, and they freaked out, and they made a bunch of phone calls right away. They didn't do anything to him. They don't dare. They don't dare. You could tell him he was driving their car up north. He said, "Oh, by the way, I work for Stephen Kelley," and they're like, "Tell him what you just told me." you know, they freaked out. He said they all know my name by heart. They do. The highest levels. They do, but they won't say it. You know why they won't say it? They don't want to die. They don't want to die. Nobody that hates me dares to even think of me, have a picture of me in their head or my name in their lips, because they will die. Many have already.
How
That's
is
called
that?
the Can't Be Killed Club.
How is that you have such power?
I don't know. They didn't tell me. I have a lot of theories. I have an altar. I know I have an altar. I've dealt with the altar. The altar's Rambo. Rambo's a badass. He's a badass. But even the most badass super. I don't know. Do you know any super soldiers? You ever met any super soldiers before?
Yeah, I did. They're pretty crazy, man.
Well, there's a lot of people that talk bullshit. I mean, I'm not talking about James Rink's people.
No, the
James
ones,
Rink, God bless James Rink, but no, I mean real guys that are. I can't even remember some of these guys' names because they don't mess with me. Nobody messes with me. Doesn't matter who they are.
can you talk about these super soldiers?
Super soldiers. You mean like? Well, there's different kinds. I mean, most of these people are working for the military. Obviously, they're usually my lab and what have you. There's uh, the whole business with this whole psychic stuff is really, really big. I know they like to make jokes about it in public and stuff, like it's not real. But in the CIA, in the military, it's like number one. It's totally number one. This is how they measure people. They measure people by that. And so, like for instance, when they're abducting these children, they abduct like 1 million these kids a year. They're not just going for their blood. They're looking for psychics. They're looking for children with skills that they can recruit. Because that's how they get them. It's the closest thing to understand is it's like Jedi and Sith. Okay, those are the Sith. They use the bad stuff. Michael Aquino was running that program for a long time. You know Michael Aquino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was evil, man.
Yeah, fuck him. He's dead.
Did you ever meet him?
No, but he screwed with me. He's dead now, though.
How did he screw with you?
He screwed with my person at the Super Soldier Convention in Henderson, Nevada, where there was an abduction that supposedly took place, and they supposedly abducted me. And so, as a result of that, about 6 people involved are dead, including him. So yeah, I'm not very happy about it. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything from that event, but people told me about it. There's like legends and stories about what happened going on. But I do know this. I do know that several people that were involved in that are now dead. So
Holy cow. What are the legends about what happened at that event?
well, you want to know what happened? Well, supposedly a couple of the guys, super soldier dudes there, who were working for Michael Aquino, were involved in basically abducting the rest of us and taking us down into the basement of this damn hotel over there in Henderson, this casino, where there was some white vans from Area 51 that did whatever it is that they do in those white vans with their chairs. And supposedly when they brought me down there, I resisted and I had to be subdued. And, that was very embarrassing, of course. But those people, both of the guys that were involved with, facilitating this, Max Spears, he's dead. James Casbolt, he went to jail and lost his wife and his fortune and everything. He's screwed for life. Michael Hemmingson, former White Hat, he's dead. Michael Aquino's dead. There's some other guy, I don't remember his name. He's dead. I don't keep track. Some of these people, I just had like one guy kind of harassed me on the way to the buffet, but I was being a bodyguard for Lorraine Fenton. And so I guess he was harassing her, but he's dead. So, and it's usually mysterious circumstances like Michael Hemmingson, he died in a Tijuana hotel room. Some say it was an overdose, but nobody knows for sure. Max Spears, if you've heard the story, he died supposedly with black goo coming out of his mouth. He was in Poland when that happened. I don't know if I was involved in that or not, but they're dead. So yeah, you don't screw with me. You don't have malice. Okay, so I've had people that wanted to kill me that have had horrible accidents on the way to me. Stuff like that. You hurt me and you screw me in business, somebody in your family's going to die. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get your arm broken. Something's going to happen. It never fails. It happens a lot.
Do you think Max Spears was a psyop?
Max Spears a psyop? No, he was one of them. A psyop, what does that even mean? Max Spears was a Sith. He was a Luciferian super soldier. Sith warrior. That's what he was.
These are people that are manufactured with superhuman powers, right?
No, people are born with things. Everyone has skills. Everyone's born with it. Some people wake up sooner than others. That's all. I mean, as far as what they did, how did Max Spears get power? How does Steven Spielberg get power? Usually by killing children and doing satanic rituals, typically. Okay. How do I get power? Serving others. Okay. I get power by serving others. I get power by doing charity, by healing. In fact, this is one of the greatest ways to get power is healing. Once you start learning how to do healing, the more healing you do, the more powerful you become and the better healer you become. And it's exponential. Okay. You see how, I mean, I've done miracles. I've cured blindness, cancer many times. Uh, it's not easy. I've saved animals. Death is a funny thing. You don't really, I'm not all about cheating death. And I can't help everybody. I couldn't help James Rink. I don't know what was his problem, but I couldn't do anything for him. But yeah, we all have the power to do this. We all do. But instead, we choose to be greedy, selfish bastards who are focused on our ego and our genitals instead of developing our God-given gifts. That's the bottom line. I mean, okay, like for instance, when I tell you the future isn't about money and wealth, it's about power and skill, what are you going to choose? Because it's like, for instance, you could have an army of soldiers with weapons protecting you, but I come along and I make all those guys point their guns at you. Now, who's more powerful? Okay, that's where the power is. This is why we don't fight aliens, because the aliens have more power, because guns are useless, because they'll just make us point our guns at ourselves.
Because they have the ability to be like psychic and control
Of course.
the mind.
And the weak ass humans, they're selfish, are the easiest to control. In fact, the selfish, greedy service to others people are completely controllable. Completely. 100%. And those of us that are give more than we take, we have a shield. We're protected. We give out power. We push energy away from us, not suck it in. The greedy people suck the energy in. As they're sucking in that energy, they're also sucking in all the crap and the evilness and the sickness and everything else. We push it away. See, so
That makes sense.
yeah. And that's how it works, man. So it's like cancer, whatever. It's not part of my universe.
Man, Stephen, you always have such interesting things to share with the audience. I thank you for coming on the show. I'd like to have you on the show again because this is going to be a really crazy year, and I think your insight will be very helpful. What do you see?
Jedi, dude.
The year of the Jedi?
This year. Yeah, I call this the year of the Jedi. It's not going to be a good year. It's going to be an awful year. Awful, awful stuff is going to happen, but it has to happen. Okay, we have to have the chaos and the turmoil to basically cause the trauma, because until everyone goes through the trauma, they're not going to wake up. You got to go through trauma or you're not going to wake up. So this is going to be a year of trauma, and it's going to be a year of waking up.
Are a lot of people
be great.
A lot of people going to freak out and die this year, right? Because they're not going to be able to handle all the stuff that they see. But a lot of this is just going to be theater as well. A lot of what we're seeing is not even real.
Well, if we're sitting on our butt and watching the theater instead of controlling the choreo, I mean, the way I see it, we're all actors, and if you choose to sit and watch, that's on you. I choose to control the script and have it end using my script. It's like I don't care about everybody else's script, because my script is the one that happens, and this is why they are afraid of me, because they know my script is the one that happens. The Getty mission is inevitable. Bottom line, it's inevitable. Can't stop it.
How many times did you go to the Getty? I've only been there once.
Mm, I don't know, half a dozen times or so, several times. I mean, I've been going there over the years, but then the last time I went, obviously they didn't let me in. But the time before that, I went with a bunch of people that had come in from different countries and stuff, and we ran amok. And I walk around that place like I own it, and you can tell because the people there, they don't know what to do with me. When I first started going there, I had them following me around all the time. I mean, well, the first time I went there, of course, was with the trust fund manager. Okay, we walked around the damn place with the trust fund manager, the guy that ran the whole damn thing. And he would say, "Hey, what do you think of this room?" And it was a psychic thing because we would go into a room and he'd say, "Okay, what do you feel in here? What kind of feeling do you get in this room?" Stuff like that. They're all about psychic stuff. But anyway, the last time I went there, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to deal with me. They didn't know how to talk to me. They just kind of looked at me funny, and I just walked around there like I owned the place. And then when I left, we had this woman get in the tram with us. I don't know who she was, but I think she was pretty high ranking, but she kind of quit, like, "Wow, you guys, well, you're really something. What's going on? What are you guys all about?" This kind of a thing, trying to be friendly. But when I walk around the gate, last time, people that don't even know who I am want to take pictures with me. Like, "I don't know who you are, but you're cool." Thing. Seriously, that's why somebody says, "Hey, I want to take a picture with this guy. Do you know who he is?" "I don't know who he is, but he's cool." It's like, whatever. Anyway, so I think now they probably got my photo up in personnel or in the break room. "Do not let this guy in." Anyway.
Stephen, thank you so much for taking time out to come on the show at the beginning of 2026 and sharing all your insight and wisdom with us. Thank you so much. Thanks to the
Merry
audience.
Christmas to everybody over there.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way. Again, people, this is the Orthodox Christmas, January 7th, and the Orthodox New Year is January 14th. So, yes, we are living in a matrix. People don't seem to understand that you're living a lie, and we have to start living in the truth. And it's not going to be easy because the truth hurts. A lot of people are afraid of the truth, I notice.
They're afraid of the pain.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Say?
What did he say?
I was thinking, what would John Lennon say? Pain is a concept or something like that by which truth is a concept by which we measure our pain. That's it. Anyway.
Truth is a concept by which we measure our pain. Remember, everybody, united we stand, divided we fall. Never give up, never surrender. Oh, by the way, are you going to send me a link so that I could put it there for people to see your show on that radio network?
Oh,
I could put it.
www.lost Truth Cat Radio. I made it easy to spell. TruthCatRadio.com.
Is that CAT?
CAT. TruthCat.
Radio.com. All right. And that's when? Thursday nights?
Thursday night, but it plays continuously 24/7, but it's live Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Do you have a live chat as well?
No, they took that away. Can't do it. Microsoft screwed me.
Yeah.
But join my group. Join the Telegram group. You got to go on Telegram and join the Occupy the Getty /Stephen D. Kelley page. That's where it's at. Telegram is where it's at. Everything else is crap now.
By the way, what time is it over there?
Right now, it is 3:52 p.m.
Wow. It's actually 3:52 a.m. where I am.
No kidding.
Yeah.
12 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But you know what?
No,
it's worth it, man. I reach a good audience at this time, 5 p.m. And so, yeah, it's cool. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody for supporting this channel. and going to the victorhugocollection.com. And yeah, peace,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody. Adios.